What's up, guys? Welcome to the Fish Bluewater channel, and we are in the blue water offshore in South Florida. This is part 3 of a 3-part video. So if you haven't seen the first 2 parts, they're in the gallery on the channel. Check them out. I'm here with my man Tim Pickett, Lindgren Pitman. We got the MVP on the wheel, Drew Kettlehut. This guy slays more swords than anybody I know. So we are out here. I got the new SV-1200 variable speed 1200 LP reel. And we started out with our first video. We were at LP's factory. We did a complete tour, took you behind the scenes, showed you all the magic and the engineering brilliance that goes into building these amazing reels, right, Tim?
Yep.
And in part 2, we actually swung by and saw my buddy Bobby Boyle, who got us tightened up, showed you guys in part 2 video how to actually get the reel properly spooled up, wind on, ready to fish. And now it's time to make it a reality.
Go get them.
So Tim is we're gonna get 2 rods going. We're gonna fish a buoy rod and we're gonna fish, obviously, a tip rod. And along the way, hopefully we're gonna get tight once, maybe if we're lucky, multiple times today. But we're gonna show you, or more importantly, Tim's gonna show you some of the great features about this new variable speed 1200. So stay tuned, let's get tight.
Go get them. Gonna let it out under a little bit of tension here before he makes his turn to come back around. So we'll let it get all scoped out, and it's gonna sink kind of like a pendulum as we make this turn. It makes it so you don't get tangled, you know. So the bait will actually be fishing off the front of the boat when we're pointed south here in the tide, but we're laying it out going to the north under a little bit of tension. So when we do make that turn, we'll make it at about 1,000 feet. It'll all come down as he's turning, you know, and sink like a pendulum. It's also very important, we have a pin on the bottom here. I've already done it, but to make sure the level winder's lined up with the spool. You see how it's tracking perfectly here, and they did a good job at the shop. They're spooling it and leaving it lined up with the level wind. 820. Yeah, go ahead. So now as he's making this turn, I'm going to put it into free spool and drop it the rest of the way.
All right, so we got the tip rod down, just clipped off the jug rod, so we're there. Now we just need a bite. I rigged up, brought a couple of strips with me. We're out here offshore, obviously. Swords ain't the only thing swimming out here. Maybe get lucky and run across a nice dolly. A lot of guys will just, if you have live bait, that's great. You don't have any on the boat today, but whip out a little strip or something like this and set it back behind the boat, forget about it, and fish swims up. Bonus. All right, so we're on the bottom, and here's where all the excitement is. You're just waiting for that bite, right? So you guys have done this a million times. I've done it plenty, but certainly not as much as you guys. There's gonna be a lot of people watching this video that are probably going to be future customers trying to learn this game a little bit. We get that subtle bite on the rod tip, Tim. Like, yep. What's the next steps with these buttons in this reel? What's going to happen typically? I know it can be different based on the scenarios, but on average, what's the steps you're going to go through?
So, you know, a lot of times it'll just be a little tap. You know, I mean, it kind of depends on what the bite is, you know, but most of the time it's going to be a little tap. What I'll usually do is I'll hit one of the buttons and wind it away about 75 feet or so.
Okay.
And what that does is I think it triggers them to have a more positive response and really kind of pile on the bait a lot.
Okay.
At the same time, Drew's usually going to pull the boat forward a little bit. And, you know, if the fish comes a little bit more committal the next time, usually we'll pull the boat ahead a little bit more and we'll release the drag and drop it back to them another, you know, 50 or 75 feet to try and put a bow in the line so they can come and eat it.
With you pulling the boat forward, is that helping to drop it
that
more
just slows,
as well?
That slows the drift of your bait as well.
Okay.
It drops back in a sense using the vessel and the boat and the motors compared to necessarily just dropping your line.
Yeah, I mean, I hear Bobby Boyle say all the time how important the driver is, the guy that's driving the boat.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, absolutely. And it's important to be in sync. You know, we've fished together enough where we know what reaction, if I do something here, he's doing there.
Right.
You know, or if I'm dropping back, he's pulling the boat forward, you know, because like Drew said, dropping back, if you still have the progress of the boat taking you in the tide, it's not creating any slack for the fish to eat.
Right.
You know?
Sure.
So, you know, it's very important to be in sync with the guy that's driving. It's also important to you know, one of the bigger things that people don't recognize is knowing the difference between that tap and when the rod starts to load up. It's very important to be used to the, you know, a lot of people switch rods up all the time. Oh, this is the latest and greatest one, or this. My biggest thing is just get used to the one you have.
Being familiar, right.
And, you know, especially here with the tide and fishing with so much lead and so much line out and stuff like that, really knowing what's happening with the rod that you have is important, because you want to know the difference between tap and load, and the fish has got the bait in his mouth. So you can start.
On the load, do you see it as a more gradual process?
It's pretty gradual. You know, I mean, it won't just warp over like a wicked tuna thing. You know, it just kind of, you know, you usually have the reel running, and you'll see, you know, the rod just starts to, you know, kind of, you know, instead of coming up with a wave or something, you'll see it start to kind of dig in.
When you see that, will you stay with it at that point?
Yeah, usually we'll push the drag up quite a bit. You know, sometimes we'll put the boat in reverse to try and drive the hook, depending on the angle of where things are at.
Right.
You know, and how fast the tide is. There's not a lot of tide today, so we'll probably end up doing that. But, you know, it's imperative that you drive the hook down on the bottom. You know, then once I'm confident that the hook is driven pretty good, I'll back the drag off quite a bit, and then we'll kind of settle into the fight.
Nice. Well, hopefully we get those opportunities here today.
See you back there.
The back the buoy slack. This is when it's good to have a fast reel, like the variable speed. Crank it up quick.
See, we got it turned all the way up. If that lays over like that, we got to get this one out of the way.
Get this out of the way, because that fish is obviously swimming up with it. The buoy's still not completely laid over, but it had laid over. He's still swimming up, and there's still some tension on the buoy. But we need to get this out of the way as quick as possible. I keep driving ahead so that we don't fall back into that buoy fish, which is important. A lot of people think, oh, we got one on the buoy rod, we better stop driving. That's not the case. You want to keep driving.
Because that fish is probably paddling into the current.
Yeah,
you know.
You can really see the buoy's really laid over now. It's completely slack.
The dart ready to go. We get a shot on the fish. Sometimes it can happen super fast. So, you know, they're thinking that because of the way that buoy is slacked up, and obviously the fish is swimming up. So with the lead, the buoy laid over like that, you know, there's a good chance this could be a big fish. So we'll see.
With these fish, if you're winding slack in, you definitely don't want it to come tight really, really quick, you know, because he's swimming in the ocean right now with a bunch of stuff trailing behind him. It's keeping perfect tension on it, you know.
He could be 400 feet down, he could be 1,200 feet down right now, but our buoy's laid over and he's been coming up for a minute. So, you know, I've seen him jump before we even got to the buoy. I've seen him jump before we even started winding in the bottom rod when they were on the buoy.
crazy to me because it seems like there's a ton of slack right now, but you got that whole belly, right?
He's swimming the lead up. He's got the, you know.
Easy, it's kind of angling.
Right.
Yeah. You know, he's swimming that lead up, and there's still a belly probably between the lead and us.
I don't like that it's up that way.
Yeah. Well, let me go out to the east. Well, fine. Not a lot of tide.
See, we're catching up to him right now.
Is that, now you're saying that based on the way you see the rod swinging?
Yeah. It's just the fish is up over here.
Yeah.
See, one thing, we started to come tight on the fish a little bit. I turned the speed way down. So it's not sitting there running against the drag, and it's not, you know, we'll just kind of ease them up here.
Okay.
You know, if you come tight to these, it's kind of like playing with a pit bull. You know, he's going to pull back at you harder than you're pulling, you know.
Right.
He's going to figure out what's going on, you know.
Right.
But we're still gaining nice and slow here, you know, nice and easy.
Trying not to piss him off too bad.
Well, again, it's all about not, you know, I mean, when it's slack like that, you don't want to come tight all at once, you know.
Right.
Forward, to the right. Get ready, Jamie, with the harpoon. Spin around, Drew, to the port. There he is back there. Get ready with a straight gaff too, Drew. Come ahead, spin around. Yeah, he's down there.
Decent fish?
Oh, fuck, he just pulled off. God damn it.
Here he comes.
Oh man, heartbreaker.
I should have threw when you first came.
Fish was in the wash, coming back out. Probably a couple more circles from being able to get a dart shot on him.
20 or 30 feet away.
And
shit.
One head shake and the hook pulled. Nice fish though, probably in the pushing the 200-pound range. It's part of this game though. They got soft mouths. You got a lot of line between you and them. And you know, particularly with that buoy rod, you know, you're not able to do as much as you can with the tip rod, so you're a little bit limited. You know, you need some things to work in your favor, but friggin' awesome. First drift, we got bit, so it's a good sign. All right, so we're set back up again. 4 drifts, 4 bites, just can't get tight. We got closest on the first fish of the day off the jug rod. Nice fish, probably pushing 200 pounds. Maybe one more circle within range of a harpoon throw. And then we've had three bites on the tip rod. 1 got wrapped up, 2 whacked the bait pretty good, but we just haven't been able to bury the hook in the right place. So we're on the quest. It's not over yet. All right, so it's a little after 2 o'clock.
No auto, Timmy. Try to
We've been in a little bit of a lull. Our last drift, no bite. This drift, we hadn't had a bite. We were talking about the buoy stuff. And Drew just got done saying that usually it's not good luck if the buoy goes all the way under. Well, guess what? We look back, he's like, we're tight, the buoy's under. I go, I thought you said that wasn't good luck. So, I don't know, we're tight on something.
I'd rather see the fish slack the buoy off, get hooked, and then start to swim up, you know, feel the load of the lead and the float, start coming up. You know, buoy going under can just be the sign of a fish that's snagged or possibly a thresher. But we got something on here, so it's number 5 of the day, our 5th bite. We haven't caught anything. Let's see if we can make this one happen. Blue.
Definitely not bottom. Whatever it is, to think that it's pulling that lead and
pulling the two buoys.
Two buoys.
Well,
down
those two
there.
buoys aren't doing crap now.
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
No.
Nope. They're like raisins right now.
Digging a little bit.
Yeah. Bunches in there. Yeah. Bunches. Wow. Like that.
So now, right now is another perfect scenario. You don't want this reel running while the fish is taking line. All it's doing is generating excess heat. So, you know, this reel's designed, this will last forever just pulling out line like this. You know, it's not generating a ton of heat. God bless.
Wear the fish out, not the reel.
Yeah, exactly. It's gonna wear me out.
Okay.
Is he seeming sharkier to you, or you think it's? I mean, you've caught enough.
Not
of these
taking
things.
runs like that, it's not, you know.
I've never caught a thresher, so I don't know.
Oh, I've caught plenty of them.
Look at those floats from how far down that fish has taken the buoy and how the pressure has compressed those floats. Normally, this is what it should look like. And that goes to show you, that's friggin' unbelievable. That's why, if it's a sword, that's why we call them gladiators. Like a shark.
It's a fucking thresher. God damn it. How the fuck did that happen?
Woo!
He's full grown.
That one's full grown there, yeah. Gotta be those ones.
Yeah.
Watch out. Oh, I've had enough.
Bet you have. Look at that prehistoric looking thing right there.
Watch
Woo!
your fucking skull.
Definitely not the fish we were after. But one hell of a fight, and the bait is where it should be. Right in the corner of the mouth.
Well, it seems as though he got big thresh hooked right in the corner of the mouth. He had the buoy down for a good period of time. Ah, look, he's got another hook in him as well. See the other hook on the other side of him?
Yeah. How long do we fight him?
Too long.
2.5 hours?
Yeah, look at it. You see the other hook on the other side of him?
Well, we fought hard. We fought hard, gents.
That would have beat the shit
5
out of me.
bites. 5 bites, 4 fish.
God damn.
Finally catch the last fish we hooked. 2.5 hours. I think we were all convinced it was fighting the right way, right, Tim?
He was taking big runs. I mean, I had a lot of heat on him. It's usually, if it's a thresher, it'll go for a while and then quit, but that was different.
Yeah.
And what made me think otherwise too was that it was on the jug rod. Usually we catch them on the tip rod, you know, and you kind of know right away, but such is life. Fooled the hell out of me. I thought it was a foul hook swordfish.
Hey, listen, the reel handled the job just fine.
Yep.
All right, man. So we're back at the dock. Long day, but fun day.
Yeah.
I know you might disagree with the last fish.
Hey, well, you know.
But, and we didn't obviously put a sword in the boat. I don't think the camera probably will have picked up that first fish, but we had a very nice fish, almost within dart range today, and then went on to get 4 more bites. Drew.
3 more bites.
Excuse me, 3 more bites. We had 4 bites on
bad. We weren't that bad.
Swords in total. 5th bite, which was the shark. Well done on getting us some bites, Drew. But, you know, more importantly, this video was really about showcasing these reels, you know, the new variable speed reel, obviously taking people through who watched the first part, the second part, and the third part. Obviously, we would have loved to put a sword in the boat. This certainly won't be the last video that we go daytime sword fishing. But I was, you know, for somebody who's fished with the variable speed now really for the first time, and it was kind of cool to see how you use the features of that, fighting that thresher.
Yeah.
You know, where you needed to make the subtle, small adjustments.
Yeah, the ability to change speeds is a big deal, you know, and to kind of find the drag never got hot that whole time.
Right.
You know, I mean, we were slugged, you know, 25 pounds, 30 pounds of pressure on it the whole time. You know?
Drew, you said that's probably the biggest thresher one of the bigger threshers that you've caught, right?
Yeah, that's for sure one of the biggest threshers that I've gotten personally. And you know, I mean, the variable speed and how Timmy could showcase the fact that you just set that reel instead of, you know, struggling and slipping and constantly running at a higher speed, you can dial that down and slow it up to where, you know, it's gaining, you know, and it's a slow pull. Instead of trying to yank it and pull crazy hard, that reel and the variable speed, there's nothing better than being able to use that reel to its, you know, max capacity in the features of slowing down the reel, you know, and it helps too sometimes because when we hook the fish on the buoy rod, we ripped up the bottom rod, you know, before the fish on the buoy would have a chance to get into the bottom rod, which has happened.
It was slack enough where that could have really been a problem.
Yeah.
You know, if that was going really, really super slow, that could have been an issue, you know, but we were able to rip it up and get it out of the way.
Good stuff.
And I've had it.
Yeah.
Come and shoot before.
Good stuff.
And that was,
I have too.
We didn't have the variable speed, you know.
Well, so hats off to you guys on a great product. Obviously, I expected nothing less. If you guys haven't seen the first 2 videos, they're in our gallery down below. We're constantly bringing you fresh, new, cool content. If you've got any questions about LP, the new variable speed reels, drop a comment below. You can check them out online. Is it LindgrenPitman.com?
Lindgren-Pitman.com.
Lindgren-Pitman.com. And other than that, like, this is unfinished business from you guys. So if you'll let me, hey, listen, if you'll let me commit to paying for the fuel and burning the fuel, can we do it again?
I'm in.
Let's do it.
I'm in.
You don't have to twist my arm too hard, okay?
All right, guys. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you for the next Fish Blue Water video.